In this video, I'm going to teach you how to create 3D roses in a way that all of your clients will love and want. I've been doing 3D nail art for some time now, but unfortunately, no matter how lovely they looked, my clients never really fancied it. Their reason was that, oh, I'm having children, cleaning a lot, wearing gloves, these look really lovely, but I don't think they are very practical for me. So I was totally heartbroken because despite of the fact they are a little bit time consuming, they look absolutely lush. So one of those play days of mine, I came up with an idea how to create 3D roses that are wearable for everyone. When we are talking about 3D designs, most people think about acrylics. Well, I'm a gel girl in general, so this is not always an option for me. Not because I cannot work with acrylics, I choose not to. That's why I was really pleased to welcome 3D gels. You can create similar look with them to acrylics, minus the smell, so for a gel girl, this was just like heaven. You can create these roses on any nails, short or long, square, rounded or coffin shaped. You can do just one or you can do a whole composition. The choice is yours and the possibilities are endless. You can work and create 3D roses with gel the same way, with the same technique as with acrylics, but they are still too big, too high for my clients. So I developed a way to do them and they are as high as a small size gem, but still look pretty 3D from the top. As per usual, let's try to draw first. So it all starts with a round shape. We are going to slice off some gel here in the top left hand side. This will be our first petal. Then the starting point of my second petal will be in the middle of my first petal. Following the shape, slice off the second petal. The third petal starts in the middle of the second petal. Follow the shape and slice. Now you probably guessed where the fourth petal will start and so on. So we are going around this circle. How many times, how many petals you will be able to create this way depends on how big was your round shape at the beginning. When we're gonna get to the middle of the rose, we will just make a sphere out of gel, and I will show you later how to do that. In the next step, we will have to open these petals. With a brush or a silicone tool, whichever you prefer, we will press them out, open them in the shape of a rose petal. After you've opened the first petal, then move to the next one. These petals are on top of each other, they are cuddling each other, but generally speaking, they are the same shape. There might be one bigger, the other one is a little bit smaller, but they are all the same shape. Here is the first petal of my drawing, and look at on the tip, that's my first petal. My second one is on top of that. Look at here, is on top of that. The third petal, here's my third petal. Look at it, they are on top of each other. So the shape of the rose petals are something like this. I've got these glittery gel polishes here, which I'm going to use as my background on the already painted tip. This step is not necessary, you can leave it out if you wish, but I like to create different backgrounds for my designs. I'm just using these glittery gel polish colors as if they were covering my nail bed. Now comes the most exciting part, creating the rose. I'm using 3 different 3D gel colors, a pastel yellow, a yellow and a brown one. You probably wonder why to use 3 different colors. Well, let me show you why. These yellow 3D roses were created some time ago, probably one of my first attempts to do 3D with gel. I only use one yellow color here. And yes, you can still tell it's a rose, but I think using more than just one color will help you to create a more realistic rose. I'm using a small dotting tool to get the product out of the jar. The reason why is because you're only gonna need a very small amount anyway. I know on camera everything look a little bit different, but believe in me, these amounts are tiny. I'm using my finger to mix the colors together. It's easier when you are not wearing gloves actually, but just make sure that your hands are clean, dust and fluff free. See the bowl? The colors haven't mixed together well enough, so I'm mixing it a little bit longer. It's the best when you don't see the 3 different colors, you see more like a good mixture of them when they are blended together perfectly. Now my tip is ready, so just adding my 3D gel on top of it and with my finger flat it out as thin as possible. This will be the base of my rose. Don't cure. Try to make the same thickness everywhere. The second part of my rose will be a mixture of yellow and white 3D gel. I'm taking the product out from the pot with a small dotting tool again. You can use anything really, but this just helped me to keep it as small as possible and not to waste any product. I'm mixing the colors together with my finger again till they have perfectly mixed, then I will put this over my base. This second layer of 3D gel goes over my first layer. Make sure it covers on the edges as well. I'm just using my finger to tap it down and move the product. If you look at it from the side view, it's still not very high, exactly what I wanted to achieve. Using some alcohol in a glass jar and my small dotting tool, I'm going to start creating the rose petals by carving into this flat ball. Starting from the top left side, I'm carving a line here. Cut out a shape of a rose petal. My second petal starts in the middle of my first petal and cutting out the shape of the rose petal. If you feel your dotting tool started to stick to the 3D gel, you need some liquid on it. Following the same movements, work yourself around the ball. When you get to the middle part, just mark it with a swerve for now. I'm going to use a 3D brush from now. This is the same brush I'm using to create the 3D design with acrylics. Find your first petal on the top left right corner and use the tip of your brush only and start pressing the gel down. I always start in the middle of the petal because this will be the biggest and longest part of my petal, so it needs more pressure. The two sides are always shorter, meaning you need to tap them down with less pressure. Dip your brush into the liquid and tap it down on the paper because you don't want to overflood your design, and do the same movements again. Start in the middle of the petal using the tip of your brush and tap down the product. If you do it right, these petals start to lap on each other or cuddle each other. You can always check your work from the side view to see how flat or how high your petals are. If they are too high, press them down more. We've already marked the middle of the rose with a small dotting tool, but by the time you get here with your petals around, it may have been changed. Don't worry, a toothpick can solve your issue quickly. It is smaller than my dotting tool, hence I can create more delicate swirl with it. I'm just going to check it out from each and every angle, and when I'm happy with it, just cure. Because I'm going to create a rose composition on this tip, it means I'm adding another rose and some leaves as well. The second rose of mine is a bit smaller than the first one, so the amount of product you will need is less. The steps are exactly the same as before. When you are creating a composition, the flowers and the leaves are close to each other and sometimes they even overlap each other. Keep this in mind when you are creating the second rose. The petals may be on top of your first rose's petal, which is fine. It will look more realistic. I'm trying to create a nice middle, but I think I just overdid a little bit, so I'm moving more gel and then finishing it off nicely with a swirl. Check your rose from different angles, and when you are happy with it, you can cure. The last thing we are going to add are the leaves. Leaves are normally green, so I'm using a darker and a lighter green, but to get the most realistic color, I'm adding the color of the rose as well, which is yellow. Mix the colors together with your finger, then check. You can tell it's not mixed well together yet. Now this one looks a little bit better. If I was using this mixture with this rose, I'm not happy with the colour harmony. This green doesn't look like the best with my roses. I think it needs a little bit more of the lighter green. I don't always get the colours right for the very first time, but that's okay. You can always go back and add some colour to it. Not an issue. Now that looks so much better, doesn't it? Always check the color harmony with your flower before you add any leaves to your design. I'm just going to slice a little bit from this big ball with my dotting tool. Create a ball with my finger and then put it between my first and my second rows. Remember, the leaves are part of the composition, so they need to be close to the flowers. In my previous videos I explained to put them between two petals. Here you can put them between two roses. When I'm working on the leaves, I like to use this silicone tool because it has got two different sizes. One can smooth the product while the other can wedge in it. In the middle of the leaf, I wedge in, parting the leaf into two. Then placing the silicone tool back in the middle, then press it out on one side, then press it out on the other side. With this silicone tool, I've managed to create the leaf shape more or less. I just need to finish it off with a brush. The end of my leaves is not pointy enough, so I'm working on those little bits. I try to do two leaves, which are different in sizes. One is bigger and the other one is smaller, and they are pointing to different directions. My tip is long enough to create more leaves. I'm just gently stroking it with the brush to make sure I can achieve the pointy ends.